When I spit bars in a rave, man, I go hard like Santan. Yo. When I spit bars in a rave, man, I go hard like Santan.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Touchline Fracas. I'm joined for a really, really late pod on a Sunday evening, considering the last game started at 7 p.m. But I'm joined by a few fellows who are eager, passionate to talk about this weekend results. Let me go around and introduce them. I'll start in order of them actually showing up. And this may be a surprise. And how's it going, brother?
Very badly, unfortunately, but here I am.
Here you are, brother. I respect you for coming through. Well, any other touchy gooners willing to step into the parapet. So you know what time it is.
We're here, man. Win, lose, or draw. Unlike certain people.
Respect. Also joined by Semms, fresh off a win in the West London derby. A little bit of a squeaky finish at the end, but all in all, probably good value for the win, Semms.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
You didn't ask me how I'm doing, though.
No one gives a damn how you're doing.
To be honest. That's more so why I didn't ask.
Very, very, very ironic. Very ironic. I say no more. It's all right now.
Disu, what are you saying, brother?
What a weekend, Gaffer. What a weekend. I couldn't have drawn it up any better if you asked me.
I was like, Disu, how you drawing up the weekend? You wouldn't have drawn it like this.
Nah, no way. No way.
You can't believe it, yeah? I
just can't believe my luck, mate.
Yeah.
I would have rather be anywhere in the world right now than here with you guys. Tell you that much. I got my last rum punch.
Nice.
To celebrate. Yeah, make sure you lot grab that. The Christmas special. I was saving it for Christmas. I thought, you know what? Let me pop it open for today's pods. It's been a good weekend.
It's a celebration. Yeah, I thought with that opening line, you're actually doing the opening line of a song of a rapper who I thought was almost cancelled, but he's seemingly not cancelled now. But it's not. The I's are not dotted, T's are not crossed. So I'll mention it on next week's pod. Before we start, I've got to do the usual and plug the socials. If you're not following on the Touchline Fracas Twitter, please follow it. Chaotic account. We've got about 12 people trying to tweet from it. Some of them use their name, some of them don't use their name. But you get a good time. So follow that if you haven't already. If you haven't signed up to our Super 6 Mini League, please make sure you sign up to the Super 6 Mini League. Nobody won this weekend, I'm sure. So that's gonna roll over. Again, I think at this point, I probably think the cash prize is about £1 million if you can win it. As usual, follow the club pods, Muga, Chessy Hour, Touchy Gooners, Copy and Fracas, New Spurs Order, and visuals will be up this week. I'm on annual leave now, so I actually have time. So yeah, you can get the full pod visuals on the YouTube this week. Anyway, all that being said and done, let's get into the business of what we do this week. 4:30, all eyes on me Sunday. There's only a few teams that get that cherished slot in the football weekend. But seemingly Manchester United have one of those slots every other week. And this week it was the Manchester derby against Reeling probably doesn't even do it justice. They have absolutely fallen the face of they've crashed out. That's what they've done. A crashed out Manchester City. Going into the game, how are you feeling?
I thought we were going to get slapped. I'm not going to lie. I was like, so like usually when teams on a bad run, there's usually one game that kind of kickstarts their resurgence. So I thought we will be their kickstart of resurgence. Do you get what I'm saying? And especially going into the game, the team news gets leaked the day before, and the journalist who leaks the team news is talking about how, Mourinho used to ask you about questions about team news. They just, that's Samuel Luckhurst, I need him snuffed.
Wait, was it 100% correct?
100% correct. 100% correct.
Mad.
100% correct. There's been a lot of talk about Garnacho being the mole for team leaks and all that type of stuff. And then obviously we see today that both Garnacho and Rashford not only not in the starting lineup, but not in the squad altogether. So when I saw our starting team, I was like, this is kind of nasty still. But I was like, I don't know, maybe we can fluke something like a tough game, a bit of Ahmad quality or a bit of Bruno quality, or we get a lucky goal or something like that. And it kind of went in that way. You know, it didn't actually. We actually played somewhat okay. I think we're probably marginally the better team in the flow of the game. And what was really strange, lads, I thought that United looked the more physically imposing team, the more powerful team, which is like the first time I've seen that happen in like, I don't know, 2017. So that's like 7 years. Like every
7 years, yeah.
every City attacking player that stepped into our third was getting beat up. I'm not gonna lie. Haaland was getting beat up. Hoyland was getting, I mean, not Hoyland. Haaland was getting, Hoyland was also getting beat up. Haaland was getting beat up. Foden was getting beat up. KDB was getting beat up. Doku and Maz had a good battle. Who else was there? Bernardo was getting beat. Like, anytime it came to anywhere near our box, they were getting beat up. So, and then in the second, as the game went on, I thought Ugarte and Maino started to do better in midfield, and United started to get more and more into the game. And I do think that we were kind of value for the W. It wasn't the greatest game. Quality-wise, it was really, really low quality, like super low quality, outside of Ahmad. But yeah, good dub.
Fair enough. Shems, and did you manage to catch the Manchester derby?
Yep. Yeah, I quit.
No, I've been boycotting all football since 5 p.m. yesterday.
Fair enough. That was a question that was meant to then lead to you giving me your thoughts, not just you telling me you watched it. Just kind of what we do every Sunday.
No, do you know what it is? Because I'm unmuted, so I didn't want to. I didn't want to clash. No, I thought that United marginally deserved the win as well. I thought City, kind of reminiscent at times last season in big games. Here, they were just sleepwalking the whole game. Even when they scored, like up until they scored, they weren't very impressive. Then they scored, and you're thinking, okay, cool, they might assert some authority into the game, maybe try to get a second. But no, it was just literally sleepwalking the whole game. Didn't look threatening. Just really couldn't lay a glove on Manchester United. I don't remember. Neither keeper had too many saves to make, to be honest with you. But you would expect, because United had a lot of, but they weren't very threatening with it, in my opinion, like in terms of like actually being penetrative. So I thought, okay, cool, the game might just like peter out into a 1-0. And then obviously Nunes makes the mistake and United get 2 goals. But yeah, Ahmad, I thought even before Ahmad won the penalty, I was watching the game and I was thinking Ahmad's the only person that can walk off this pitch and actually feel good about himself, because as Disu said, the quality was very, very low. But he was excellent, really, really excellent. Every time he got the ball, he was just like, it seems like he was on a one-man mission to win the game for United. Do you know what I'm saying? Like everything he did was just so positive. There was one run he did, where he barely had any support down the right hand side. He just literally just carried the ball by himself. Do you know what I'm saying? He played with a lot of intensity, and yeah, that's a quality player there, right there, man. But yeah, I think United. I think it's a good win, but I do feel like, I don't know if you guys will agree or disagree with me. It'll be interesting to know. I feel like it could slightly paper over the cracks, because I feel like although you guys you have a lot of the possession, you keep the ball well, just very, very blunt going forward, man. And I feel like I've watched a few of your games on the Amarin, and you guys are yet to be brave in possession. There was a couple of instances in the first half where you punched it through. I think there was one chance that Ahmad got. That was a really good play, but we didn't see enough of that braveness in possession. And I feel like if you did that more, you would have got more openings, because City were just there for the taking. But it seemed like you guys were just happy to kind of just keep the ball and have it all in front of City. But yeah, as soon as literally Lisandro turns one over the top, and you score a second goal. So yeah, I feel like if you were more brave in possession, you probably would have hurt City earlier in the game. But yeah, I feel like if United does to rise up the table and get more points, they need to be more penetrative and more intentional on the ball, personally.
Yeah, fair. I don't think our players are good, to be honest with you.
Do you know like that?
I don't even think it's like us trying to be clever or reserved. The players just aren't particularly good. You've got a striker who can't really use his speed to get in behind and cause chaos, which then allows space for other players on the team. Nor does he have a back-to-goal game. You got a number 10 in Bruno Fernandes who can have odd moments of quality, but should have had a goal before the penalty, and spends a lot of his time either picking the wrong option or technically executing something incorrectly. Then you look at the midfield, Ugarte, while he runs around and stuff, no quality on the ball to really speak of. Centre-backs don't really fill me with much inspiration. So when you look at the team, you are really talking about very, very few players who are difference makers. I thought what was interesting today Would be good to get your thoughts, Disu. Garnacho and Rashford being removed from the squad, but not for disciplinary reasons. Is that for both of them? Yeah,
For both of them. Man have been ass and have the audacity to be stroppy while playing crap. Do you get it? Like, I don't know, like, this might be controversial, but play good. I don't know. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Maybe playing good and scoring goals and getting assists might do better for you. So the fact that he's dropped them, and he says it's not disciplinary reasons, it's like, maybe I think it's to send a message that you can't not play good and then kind of not apply yourself in training and your attitude in and around training and meetings or whatnot, and then think you're gonna join the squad. No, it's not that type of party. And the fact that he's dropped them, not just dropping them for like at home to Sheffield United in the Carabao Cup or something. This is away to Manchester City after you've lost your previous 2 league games. It's a statement to make, and the fact that the team also won, I think, is a big statement. So I was kind of happy with that. And I think if we actually had Rashford, well, depends which Rashford we had, we could have been more dangerous today, because I felt like only thing we had was the right hand side, where it was Mazraoui, Maino, Ahmad linking up, keeping possession there, or Ahmad's kind of just doing his one man attack thing. But on the other side, we didn't really have anything there at all whatsoever. So I'm happy he did that. And also, like, yes, the team may not be great, but there's no excuses. There has to be a certain baseline level of performances, right? Like, Rashford's a big man. Rashford's what, 27 years old. He's on like 350 bags a week. He's played how many games for the club? Garnacho, this is like his 3rd year as a Man United player around the first team. This is like Ahmad's first opportunity, and he's playing good every week. He's the difference maker on a consistent basis. Literally the difference maker on a consistent basis. So the excuses can't be there for them, man. And the team has shown they can go and get a result without you. And who's to say you're gonna come back in the team? Because usually Ahmad was playing right wing back. Today he played in a 10 position, and then Bruno played in a 10 position. So are you guys gonna come back into the team? There's no real reason why they should just come back into the team and start playing. So yeah, I don't give a shit. I'm sick and tired of watching man play dead. Some of them Garnacho leaking stuff to the press, Rashford stropping about. Play good, bro. Like, literally play good. Like, Rashford barely puts in any effort. Do you get it? It's pathetic. So yeah, I was happy. I was happy he did that.
I just want to come in quickly, Morayo. You know, you said like your response to what I said was like, your players aren't good. I was just thinking like I get that. I agree. Like, I think the squad is in terrible condition. But are you saying that like Mainu can't play it through into one of the players in the pockets, or like Bruno can't find one of the players in the pockets? Do you know what I'm saying? Lissandro showed it.
I don't think. My understanding of what you were saying was that there's a concerted effort for us to not take risks.
Yeah,
we're explicitly doing that, right? So yeah, that is what you're saying. I don't think that they're not.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah, I don't think they're not taking risks. Bruno tries to do those things. His execution is questionable. I think Mainu has struggled since he's come back, if I'm being honest. We played him, we brought him on and played him as a 10. Mount got injured again. Yeah, the guy he might be done, guys. But I haven't really seen a position centre midfield or in one of the twin 10s that has really worked for Mainu. But we're not a team that really dominates possession or keeps the ball. So if you want a player like Mainu to do the things which he's really good at, it's cute touches, good play in tight spaces, carrying the ball, you kind of need to be a team that like dominates the ball and is able to control games. We don't do any of those things. So I don't think the manager's going out there and saying to them, guys, don't take any risks. I just don't think we have the players at the minute to really execute the way he wants us to execute. We don't dominate in any area of the pitch, unfortunately.
All right, quick one on Disu's point. I think it's really unfair to group Garnacho with Rashford. First of all,
no, I agree. I he's not no Mugo guys. No, I despise Garnacho. So,
yeah. So I mean, I get people don't rate Garnacho, but at the end of the day, Garnacho is a kid. So Garnacho's form is supposed to be up and down. You're not really supposed to get consistency, especially from an average team, from a young player, regardless of what his perceived level of talent is. Rashford, on the other hand, the number 10, the local club, highest paid player at the club, 300 plus appearances for the club, etc., etc. He doesn't have an excuse. However, if I was playing devil's advocate, I would ask, was Rashford not dropped immediately after scoring 2 goals against Everton? And is that not likely to have? And I'm not excusing his lack of effort. If there was a lack of effort, I don't watch Europa League games. I'm past that stage of life, so I don't know how he performed against whatever five-a-side team he was playing on Thursday. But I'm going to assume if he did play, he didn't try particularly hard. But is there not a valid reason, but can you not see some context as to why he might be in a strop? Remember, this is a player that clearly suffered from a lack of confidence, a lack of form, and then he finds a level of form, and then he gets dropped anyway, and loads of bad stuff comes out in the press about the club are looking to get rid of him, etc., etc., etc. So there's a bit more to it than just Rashford is sulking. Do you get what I'm saying?
No, I do agree, because after the Everton game, I was surprised to see him get dropped for the Arsenal game. He came on, and obviously his cameo was pretty disastrous. And since then, when he's played, he hasn't really kind of run up trees. And he's not. I think the worst thing is that he's not actually trying. So when you come on the pitch and not trying, you have no real argument. Like, you could be pissed off.
I struggle to defend Rashford's lack of.
You have to try it. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. And us, like, we will defend Rashford as much as we possibly can. But like at certain points, bro, like, you gotta fix up. Like, you gotta attempt to. You got to try. I don't even think he was even bad. We played. I can't remember who we played. Some team from the Czech Republic. But yeah. That sounds like
in a logo.
Yeah, Pills. Bro,
that sounds like one of the plugs from Power. Do you know what I'm saying?
Lobos.
Yeah, Lobos and them. Like the sweater Serbs came through and it was Victor Poulsen. Anyway, so Rashford came off kind of early that game, like maybe 5-10 minutes into the second half, and you could tell that he was really pissed off. Like, he wasn't really happy with that, which is understandable. But you got to try, because it's going to be hard to defend you for the manager if you don't try. And but I do understand some of the sentiment, because if I'm Rashford and I'm not playing and I'm seeing Højlund, Xerxes, and Garnacho, I'm going to be fuming, because them men are literally terrible. All three of them are terrible. Like,
is Højlund terrible?
Højlund is awful. He can finish, yes, but anything outside of finishing, he is god awful.
He used his body relatively well at times.
No, he doesn't. He's
today,
engaged in the wrestling.
Today.
Always engaged in the rest. And even the runs he makes runs into the channels, cool, but sometimes make runs he makes runs in between the left back, the right back.
Is there a clear disparity between Rashford's performances and Rashford's numbers than Xerxes, Garnacho, and Højlund?
I think the numbers are all.
Is there any indication that he's levels above them as a player via performances or numbers?
No,
not particularly.
You can't make the argument, can he, really and truthfully? Because if we can look and say, "Rah, I'm much better than these man," but I'm putting out the same thing these men are putting out.
That's the whole point. That's the thing that I struggle with. Like, we spend a lot of time making excuses for the players we like, and fair enough, but this is a results business, man. If you're better than guys, you just go out there and you show it, and then
AKA a boss.
Yeah, and then and then you point your direction towards the manager making baffling decisions. But he said very clearly that he's gonna have to rotate because we have so many games coming thick and fast, and for the most part, he has even hooked Bruno Fernandes. He not
gonna let you get away with that one.
He hooked Bruno Fernandes the other week, and we were stunned because Bruno never has ever come off in his time at Manchester United. So Rashford, you scored 2 goals. I can't remember the game it was that he scored his 2 goals in Everton. Yeah, he scored 2 goals in that 4-0 win against Everton. The next game, we expect you to come on and at least look bright. You show nothing, man. So I think this is kind of a crossroads moment for him. And from the way the manager's handled it, I think this is kind of his last dance with us, really.
What I do feel sorry for Rashford about is the hit pieces that are coming thick and thin from these nasty weasels.
How about that one, Anne?
Yeah, that was crazy as well. And the worst thing about it is he tried to avoid saying what you said. Any better? What are you talking about? What the hell does thick and thin even mean? That doesn't make sense.
Oh my God.
What are you talking about?
I'm not trying to be British, man. Anyway.
For once.
The hit
In
pieces.
all the years I've known
coming
you, you've never tried to be British.
Bro, pack it in, man.
the hit pieces coming through at a very vigorous rate.
Lots of hit pieces would have sufficed.
Lots of, a large amount of goddamn, lots of hit pieces. Anyway, yeah, these men are trying to get Rash out the. These men are trying to get Rash out the paint, yeah, and I don't like it. I do like that Michael Richards tried to defend. Anyway, what fuck, man? Could we talk about my boy Ahmad Diallo?
What now? You can't midway through a rash.
No, I don't give a shit. Ahmad fucking Diallo, man. Ahmad fucking Diallo, yeah, had this prick Antonio telling me all he does is 1-2s. All he does is 1-2s. Thinking, does this man watch games, bro? Like, does this man watch games? And I had in a group chat had Punkhouse Dems, Lewis, and O says, oh, my mate trained with Rangers, and my mate told me that Rangers that he's shit. So now O believes he's shit because his friend that he saw some trainers to said that Ahmad shit. I want to know who Old Bridget is so I can go see his stats. If I see this is some centre back of Kilmarnock, I'm going to fucking lose it, blood. I'm gonna lose it. Anyway,
You said that Saka only takes corners.
Yeah. So
then all's fair in love and war.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's fair. You can't knock that. I didn't know Ant's and Mard's stance was a rebuttal to.
Neither did I. I thought I was being serious.
Yeah. So did I.
If I knew it was an agenda thing, I'll let it slide. That's calm. Anyway, Ahmad today, literally the only player on the pitch I will say that showed like top quality, even though there was like KDB, Foden allegedly, Haaland allegedly, Bernardo allegedly on the field. Only one player consistently throughout the 90 minutes showed quality. So even though he didn't really have much players to play with, it's the aggressiveness of the dribbling. Whether it's in tight spaces, even he just does things quickly. Like he's the only one who was playing one touch. He's the only one that had consistently had a good touch. He'll go down the outside. He was beating players. The shooting, so a couple of them shots, we're gonna need to work on that on the training grounds, all right? Because man, a couple of shots like passbacks, but I'm just so happy that he's got his chance and he's taking it. Like the second half, okay, cool, we're down 1-0, and he's the only one that looked threatening. He's pressing, gets us the penalty. Great composure, because I was thinking, is he just gonna kind of like swing at it, maybe get a goal, probably get blocked? No, showed composure. I have absolutely no idea what Nunes was doing. I'm actually very, very worried for Nunes. They need to go check and make sure that he's alive, because I think Pep actually might kill him. And then the goal was, and in the group chat, I said Morayo that, remember I said that like maybe in the 50th minute, I said the ball from left to right is on. Yeah, I said Oman has been free all time. Like he's sometimes literally jumping up like this, like send me the ball. And the one time Martinez does it, it's for a goal. And that first touch is actually crazy.
It's a great finish. It's a great finish.
Yeah, Garvido was unlucky to not clear it off the line.
No, he's not unlucky. It's bad defending.
He tried to back it off the line.
Why?
I don't know. You told me.
Who does he think he is?
He should have gone with his right foot. If he goes with his right foot, he's got a much better chance of clearing that. But yeah, I think it's poor.
Maybe he's thinking, if I go my right foot, let's just go top corner.
Potentially, but it's a much better attempt as a back heel.
Bro, you don't use defenders, bro. When I try to use their weaker foot when they go, bad things happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm happy you did that, because thank you, Garbido. You got packed up as well. You and your boy Nunes both got packed up. Thank you very much. But yeah, man, we are very, very fortunate to have Diallo at 22, and we just need to get more players like that. And it's so funny because remember, I think Dan Soft said it in the 2019, whatever window it was, when we were meant to get Sancho, and we didn't get Sancho, because obviously Soft wasn't a fan. Soft was like, this actually might be a blessing in disguise, because I think he did some small Googles on Ahmad, and Ahmad looked good. But we said, nah.
Definitely better than Sancho.
But Anton, my team said, nah. We didn't. We even though we dodged the bullet, we're going to run into the next one and go buy Sancho literally next year and sell him for 25 million to Chelsea. But yeah, I definitely think Ahmad's better than Sancho, and he was well deserved man of the match. The only player who actually I think played like a really high level. And also Haaland. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. that brother got put in jail. And I think that's the only.
Harry Maguire.
It seems like Maguire, he's never really down in it. Like, he always seems to make a comeback. I don't know how to. You can't do
Mariah's point, you know?
He rises from the ashes.
Rises. Yeah. Yeah, no, United are really good today.
Like, I would like to hear from Ant, because Ant, you are quite good at the strikers thing. Like, what's your feelings on Haaland? Obviously, we know he's an elite bagsman, but like in certain games, like where the supply line is like next to nothing. Like,
you know the problem? City of obviously Haaland is a player that's dependent on the rest of his team performing and providing chances. But the problem City have got is that Pep had a spell where he was adding pieces to quality, right? He wasn't signing quality.
Mm-hmm.
But now the quality has dropped. All he has is a whole bunch of pieces.
Complimentary guys, yeah.
Yeah. And they're not normal guys could come into the City team, and because the City team was a great team, they could get by just doing the basic instruction. Remember, Pep won a league with Fabian Delph at left back. Zinchenko at left back. He could bring in a Calvin Phillips and it not matter. He could sign what other bang average signings have they made? I think Alvarez is bang average personally. A lot of people disagree, but I'm not crazy about Alvarez. So he didn't even Grealish, like you won a league with Grealish playing, scoring about 3 goals, but playing week in, week out. Foden a lot of the time, other than last season, hasn't performed particularly well a lot of the time. But because the quality is just littered around everywhere, you could carry those guys. Now everyone needs to be carried. Everybody. And there's no one to do the carrying. KDB can't do it no more. He's 33. Like, the body's been through enough. Bernardo Silva looks shot. Nunes, I don't believe he's good enough. Doku, again, great 1v1, but doesn't have anything else. Rico Lewis, I know he didn't play today, but I think he's woeful.
Bro, leave Rico Lewis alone.
I think he's
weekly Rico Lewis slander session.
Yeah. He should have been in that Crep video, mate. Then I could have dissed him. Some more, man. Put him in there.
Nah, you are insane. You are bloody insane.
That is insane. So I actually wanted to ask a proper question. So obviously for the best part of the last 10 years, City have been the standard, pretty much guaranteed to get 90 points. Like I said, I think they've got 1 win in their last 11 games. And Disu mentioned physically they look way off it. Structurally, they're a mess. Their key players are obviously past it. What is next for them? How do we see the rest of this season playing out? And what do we expect to happen next summer?
I think they go dumb in January. I think they sign about 3 or 4 players in January. Or I think Pep quits.
You just had to do contract, but these lot Pep actually might have to quit, you know.
I don't think
he could quit. Pep don't know adversity, bro.
Hold on.
And he's so like, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, like them the emperors in Gladiator 2.
I haven't seen that. Hey, does Pep don't have a wife?
No, it's a shit film. But anyway,
does Pep have a wife?
I don't fucking know. I'd imagine.
Yes,
so.
he has a family. Yes, he has a wife.
They need to make him quit, bro. Because this guy.
I can see him quitting. I can see him giving some crazy ass statement and quitting.
This has nothing to do with the 150 charges or the fact that I'm getting slapped every week.
if you know what, if the Premier League is smart, well, the Premier League might as well slap their deduction on them this season.
Is 115 charges? Sorry, a deduction won't do it. I need titles revoked.
Why? Who wants to win titles like that?
Me.
I'll have them. I'll have them, King. I'll have 2 of them. 2 of them things.
Listen, we had that's 2 more for y'all. Listen, we came second twice, yeah?
So did we.
You're laughing then.
No,
no. If you don't get 2, I don't want 2.
I think the charges were pre this Arsenal period, right?
Yeah.
They were before before this Arsenal.
Yeah, I
period.
just even like look the years Juve got stripped of their titles in Italy. I don't think Inter fans talk about winning the league.
That's
I
fine.
don't
We're
give
taking
a
them away from
heck.
I
the
don't
City.
think no one cares.
We're
I
taking them away
think
from
I
the
just
City.
need to go on Pogba's Wikipedia page, go on honours, and I see 2 league titles. Yeah, that's all I need. That's all I care about, bro.
I see something today saying City might be trying to sign him in January.
Yeah, I'm ready to switch sets. I'm not gonna lie.
But which one is it? Are you switching sets or you want the title revoked?
You know, look at bro, so confused.
It depends, bro. It depends, bro. It depends, bro. Everything's moving. Everything's moving fast.
Ooh, so you think either they go crazy or he leaves? If he leaves, what are you guys' thoughts? Because obviously he's badded up this league, but you
Let's
just said
swap
and
him for
he doesn't do adversity.
If
He might just have run his race.
No, if he leaves because they got crashed, I'm sorry. I'm looking at him different. I'm
Why?
looking at him different.
Why?
The first time you sway for adversity, you cut.
I mean, how
No,
do
and
you
it's not
motivate a team to win a league 7
Do the
times?
new one.
I don't know.
No,
It's
no,
hard.
no. I'm not having it. I'm looking at it indifferent.
Yeah, I can see how you could lose the ability to motivate. Let's go and do like how many times playing Football Manager have you kept going when you win the league every year to like year 7, year 8?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
It get boring, isn't it?
I just keep winning.
Do you?
But the thing is,
You're a sociopath.
if Pep leaves at the end of the season, cool. But you signed a new contract, so you had intentions of staying. That means you're only leaving because you're getting crashed.
Yeah. So he ran in from the grind. So
Yeah,
he wasn't trying to leave. He was trying to re-up because there's no more cities left. Who did he go to after City?
Spain.
To do what?
Win the World Cup.
Oh, you mean the country? Oh,
Yeah.
I think he said that he wouldn't do another club team. He hasn't got it in him in terms of like.
oh, what is going internationals? Yeah.
I think he said he would do national.
Or maybe into Miami.
That would be so pointless. Messi not gonna listen to Pepe.
I want hella shit without you, pussy.
Yeah, I don't need to listen to you anymore.
I want everything without you, my guy.
I was a kid then. I'm a man now.
Yeah,
Listen, I've made you who you are.
I made you, brother. I made you. Put your trophies up.
Yeah, Messi not listening to me. Good. He can't go.
Fair.
Yes,
So, yeah,
just go Spain.
Yeah, I guess so, man. What they're gonna sack a manager who won the Euros to bring in Pep, yeah?
Boy, it is what it is, boy. We got World Cup to win.
Well, you think my man can win it with them?
You know, in Spain, we lost the UEFA Nations League game. Okay,
Yeah, sorry, man. It's untenable. It's untenable.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you'll start
Sorry, you've lost it. You just leaked the story 3 times by GM Balaguer, yeah? Then say he's lost the dressing room. He's gone. You get it?
Who can we get in? Pep. Cool. Let's go to one of our Sunday 7 p.m. Kickoffs. A fixture time we don't hear very often. Your guys at home in a West London derby, Semms, against Brentford. So you're right there at the top of the table. So this was actually a top of the table-ish sort of clash. How are you feeling going into the game?
To be honest, I was confident. We're playing very well right now, so I haven't got any reason not to be confident. So yeah, I thought we'd win, and obviously we did. And the performance itself was probably one of the most dominant performances, I'd say, that we've had this season. I was very, very impressed. I think from start to finish, the way we just penned them in, pressurized them. I think we were first to every second ball. Just very, very dominant. And I think obviously Brentford have won 3 games at Stamford Bridge, so you know there was a little bit like lingering in the back of my mind and other Chelsea fans' minds that this could be another banana skin as it has been in recent seasons. But you know, big performance for a big 3 points. So yeah, I'm happy. Cool.
You want to tell us any more? You want to shout out?
Oh, so the joy is usually you go back.
You're pretty short and sweet this week, Shem.
You know what it is?
Got you moving crazy. Huh?
You know what it is? I hate that question. It's like, how are you feeling going to the game? I don't know whether to keep going or wait for you to come back.
But the question I always ask.
Yeah.
Let me ask a bit more. So obviously, how I saw the game kind of play out is you definitely were dominant. You didn't score until the 43rd minute from Cucurella. So let's drill a bit more into the first half, and I guess the other side of it, the opportunities you had that you didn't take, and your thoughts on that.
Yeah, so I think the goal with the goal, yeah, it was only a matter of time for me. I know like a lot of fans tend to get very frustrated with these type of games where you're dominating, you're on top, you're clearly playing well, but the goal's not there. But I always knew that it was coming. We were doing the right things all first half. So I knew it was coming. I think the goal was a really good goal. I think they mentioned it a lot in commentary that they thought Maresca deliberately got us to play to cross the ball a lot today, because you saw by the way and Sancho and Palmer, they were crossing the ball a lot, and it wouldn't surprise me if that was the case, because obviously Maresca has shown that he's very pragmatic game to game. So yeah, Madueke, great ball into the box, and Cucurella is obviously inverting from the other side, which is what you want from your players on the opposite side of the wing. And I was very impressed with Madueke as well. I think every game he just keeps going. He didn't start particularly well, but as the game went on, kept going at his fullback, and he started beating him on the outside. Great ball in for Cucurella to score, and then from there, like we just settled down. And then the second half literally continued as the first half finished. Again, straight on top of them. I think Sancho had a chance early on. Jackson missed an open goal somehow. I think the ball was a little bit behind him. And Caicedo was absolutely everywhere. And then just before we scored the second goal with Jackson, Brentford started to come into the game a little bit. Typically when you play a lower team and you don't kill them off, they always have a 10 to 15 minute spell where they take a chance and they see that the game's only 1-0, and there's a chance for them to score, and that's what they did. And to be fair to them, they gave us a little bit of trouble. I think Carvalho, how he missed that, boy, was literally on the goal line, and he's managed to somehow hit the crossbar. But yeah, after that, Jackson, who actually wasn't having, he was having one of those days as strikers do have sometimes, where like nothing's falling for you kind of thing, and you're missing chances that you really should score. But great credit to him, he kept on going. I think the mentality of a lot of these players, Maresca's really got them. He's got them there really, because last season, time and time again, I see them just kind of fall away, and when it's not going their way, they'll just kind of start sulking, kind of thing. But this season, I see them keep going, and Jackson kept going to the end. And he got his goal, really, really good goal to seal it. And then, yeah, man, I think it was a thoroughly deserved, really, really, really good performance. A little bit negative on the end with tossing. I don't think he should dive in there for Mbeumo, which is a really, really good finish.
He gave the ball away.
Caicedo gave the ball away.
Yeah, I was going to ask that as well. But yeah, a lot had to happen between him losing the ball and tossing.
A lot actually
yeah. Quite solid.
Yeah. Aerially, him and Cole won a lot of duels today. I actually thought Cole was really good. Like they had a good game, but then that was the one thing that let him down. But I think Caicedo was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
He bossed it.
Absolutely everywhere. Like that was a he bossed that game from start to finish. Like I haven't seen a performance like that from him in a very long time. He's well and truly arrived. So yeah, he was
according
brilliant.
to his stats, he had 10 ground duels today and only won 3.
Brother, you can mention the stats all you want. I watched the game. I know you didn't watch the game.
I'm just asking. No, I didn't watch the game. Listen. You see, I'm not like you fake Tactico Chelsea fans. Yeah, I use the words that I mean. I don't try and trick people with language. So when I said according to his stats, this is what happened. That's not me pretending that I watched. I'm not. I made it very clear according to the stats. I don't count stats, so obviously I'm not implying that I watched. Yeah, you might love to reference that.
Tacticos that you speak of, and they may or may not be on the pod.
Demi is one, Meads is another. It is.
But yeah, anyway, big 3 points.
Of these 60 passes, 51 were accurate, a pass completion rate of 51%.
What's that, man?
85%, sorry.
There we go.
51 out of 60, 51%.
Lost possession 15 times.
Don't let Anton talk to you like that in front of me. I don't like it. Don't let him
talk to you like what? But no, these man been getting on my nerves, chatting a bag of shit, talking like this Caicedo guy is Busquets on the ball. It's pissing me off.
Oh, that
And
chat.
then man are coming here talking about phenomenal performance. I'm looking, but
wasn't
these
phenomenal
men love stats. But when I'm looking at the stats, these men who love stats, the stats don't reflect what they said. So I'm confused.
First of all, I
That's
don't really
fair,
know.
right?
First of all, I don't know who loves stats. The only time I've ever mentioned stats, to my knowledge.
Are you not
Hold
the
on,
same
hold on,
brother?
hold on,
Wait.
hold on.
Are you
The
not
only
the
time-
same brother that when man was telling you about Enzo Fernandez's
How-
performances, you're telling me about his progressive pass stats and blah blah
No,
blah? Correct
no,
me if I'm wrong.
that's not me. That's not me. I've never, when I've talked
Okay,
about Enzo,
never show me in the
when I've talked
Amazon
about
group.
Enzo, I
I've
have
been
never
arguing with the
mentioned-
wrong guy all this time. Sorry, bro. I thought he was the other one. My bad.
Yeah, thank you. I don't expect got you confused, but yeah, we're not the same guy. You get me?
Sorry, man. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, no,
Mistaken
sorry.
identity. You're good. There's two of you.
Yeah,
Yeah, you lot are crazy. So obviously with that, you go second in the table with 34 points, and actually your next game in the league is before Liverpool's next game in the league. So if you win that, you go top. In my opinion, none of the teams who are competing for the title are perfect. There's no team that I'm necessarily looking at that I consider like a 95-point sort of team, points accumulation so far aside. And I know Chelsea fans have been tentative. Enzo Maresca's been tentative. But cut out all that noise. You, Shems, how legit do you think your chances are?
So yeah, I think we're in it, and I think in terms of us winning it, I still don't think we'll win it. I think maybe we'll go, maybe till about spring. You know, that time where usually people fall off. I think Liverpool will eventually win it, but I think we'll definitely chase Liverpool. We've shown we're good enough to chase Liverpool. Obviously, the City look very, very bad right now.
Hold on a minute. Sorry, now finish, bro.
Arsenal haven't got it together, so there's no reason why. There's no reason why for me to say that we're not there. We're there. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think any Chelsea fan that's like in and around my age, or even like you've seen at least 3 titles, so you know what it looks like. Do you know what I'm saying? So all this like chicken and out of it, I kind of don't really get it, because literally we're right there. Do you know what I'm saying? You can't hide when you have the chance to go first, as we do next week. So yeah, we're definitely there. I understand Maresca kind of doing it because he keeps the players focused. Do you know what I'm saying? I think Jose done it in 2013-14. They kept on asking him, Chelsea in the title race, and he kept on saying, no, we're just a little horse, a little horse that needs milk to win it the following season, and we will be ready the following season. He turned out to be right, and I think every coach is going to do that. You know, it keeps the players grounded, it keeps them focused, and it takes the pressure away from your players. And I think that's just what a great coach does. But yeah, I can tell that even in Jackson's post-match interview, he said he didn't even know, whether he's telling the truth or not, he said he didn't know how many points we were off Liverpool. He said he doesn't look at the table. So I think that kind of just shows how focused Maresca has got these players. So yeah, we're there, man. We're there. We're definitely there.
I'm glad that one of you is not being a coward and is saying that you're in a title race. That's cute. What does you fans see in titles 15 years ago have to do with the players that haven't won them being capable of winning them?
Wait. What do you mean 15 years ago? We won 3 titles.
You said that 3 titles, right? Well, tell me your last 3 titles. Go on, I'm all ears.
2010, 2015, and 2017.
All right, so it's 2025 in 2 weeks.
Okay, cool. So yeah.
So 15 years ago.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Fuck it up.
I
was wondering.
Wait, so what's your question?
I'm just wondering.
What's your question, bro? What's your question?
I just want to know why you lot think what you lot witnessing 15 years ago has got to do with the players.
So yes, no. Yeah, no.
Because I can sit here as an Arsenal fan, and I've witnessed 4 titles.
What was the last one?
No,
2004.
20 years ago, yeah.
I was an adult. It don't matter to me, bro. I was an adult. It's all the same.
Barley.
Well, I was.
Barley.
Whatever. The fact is, what's that got to do with anything?
Yeah, let me answer the question. So, it's not about the players. I was talking from a fan perspective. So, as a fan, if you've seen your team win the title on multiple occasions, you know what happens in that season. You know how it builds up. You know you know the variables that contribute to your team being in a title race. And if you're And those variables are right there in front of you. So, like, if you're seeing the same things that you saw in previous title races, i.e., other teams not being at it, i.e., your team winning constantly, i.e., your team having better players than most of the teams around you, then there's no reason for you to ignore that and pretend that you're not in the title race.
How old are you, brother?
We'll discuss that offline.
Why? What's the big secret?
No, there's no secret.
Were you born before or after World Cup Italia 90?
After.
Were you born before or after World Cup USA 94?
USA 94, after.
Hey, you are a little nigga, man.
We not your little niggas.
This is what I'm saying. It has nothing to do.
I don't got big homies.
With anything. It has nothing to do with anything.
We not.
Yeah, I've
We
seen
not
it.
your little niggas.
I have.
So my point is this. Sorry, I just because your capo, your boss, Mr. Means, had a lot to say about Arsenal fans and their experiences of winning titles. But
Yeah,
you know, if you were born after 1994, I'm going to assume you was probably born like 98, 99. Yeah. You know, your experience of the 2010 title race that you just referenced when you was 12 or 13 is the same as Arsenal's Invincibles thing to the average 30-plus-year-old. So I'm just wondering why he was speaking with so much confidence about what Arsenal fans can or can't speak on. So that was all I was using that for. But thank you.
You do realize that we won 2 titles after 2010.
Yeah. I know, but you made a point mistakenly of referencing 3, so that's what I've chosen.
That wasn't a mistake because I remember that. I remember
it wasn't a mistake, but it wasn't a mistake because I've used it to my advantage and your disadvantage. So it was. But it's cool. We I
don't even know what man is saying.
How's this happening? All right.
The thing is, they know, and the listeners
this weekend, cuz.
Listen, I don't. They're down. I don't need to come in here glow.
No. High and mighty don't work when you got flipping divas like Antoine. It doesn't work, bro.
Don't work, brother.
You have to
you got to tussle in the mud. Trust me.
It is. I tussled at on the pod. What was it after the Liverpool game? And I used up all my tussles for the rest of the year. So
expected tussles.
Expected tussles been used up for the rest. I'll be back next year. That's what I'm saying.
Say no more, my guy. Yeah, now you lot are right up there, looking good. But obviously, I love this period when there's games like every 2-3 days. We're gonna see teams separate themselves, teams fall off. We'll be watching. Talking about teams falling off. Arsenal Saturday 3 p.m. At home against quite frankly awful Everton side. 3 points in the bag, surely, Ant.
It should be. It should be.
Talk to us about how you were feeling going into it, and then don't do what Semms did and just give that answer and don't say anything else.
No.
You was meant to come in and do your job, bro.
Fair enough.
I was
what man blames his tools.
Comfy 3-4-0 victory. That's what I was expecting. I think there was an error in the lineup. Is that Gabriel Jesus was brought back out of the team after what I thought was a good performance for the team against Monaco on Wednesday, and not just because of his own endeavors, but his movement and link and constant busyness. It causes defenders to have to move into areas and do things that they don't want to do, whereas that big German guy, everything's in front of the defenders. So he's ideal for a Tarkowski and a Branthwaite. Like, we know where you're going to be, we know what you're going to do, and we're better than you at what you're good at. So that already made their jobs a bit easier, in my opinion. Obviously, Jesus can't score for love or money. So it's not really a fight that you can have too tough, because most fans are going to be like, well, he don't score. Cool, I agree, he doesn't. But I would still play him over Havertz in games like that. We started bright, and in the first half, we should have been 2 or 3 goals up. And then the start of the second half, the crowd got a bit tetchy, and we were still creating a bit, or not creating a bit, that's a lie. We were getting into threatening areas without creating, and then the manager just decided he was going to blow it up from inside and make the most ridiculous substitutions I've ever seen in my life. Like proper through the game. It was
Tell us the subs. I didn't actually watch it.
so he took off Rice and he took off Odegaard for Wanyeri. Was it Wanyeri? Yeah, Wanyeri and Jorginho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
And
do you
then
feel
5
trying to do
minutes
with that?
after that, he took off Lewis Skelly for Thomas Partey. So at home,
Those subs were quite early, and in it, they're like the 50-something minute, right?
yeah, between the 60th and 65th minute, he brought on 2 defensive midfielders to try and score a goal against a team that weren't trying to attack.
Yeah, so he brought on
Utterly ridiculous. And then had the nerve to sit in a presser talking about what you don't want to be too risky and lose control of the game. Yes, you do, because you need to score.
It's an interesting look into how he sees the game, though.
It's pathetic.
It's weird though, because Everton, watching that game, I promise you, if they were still playing right now, and all the
They
Arsenal
wouldn't have had a
players left,
shot.
all the Arsenal players left, and all the Arsenal fans left, Everton weren't scoring, bro.
Yeah. Right.
Between
Between Rice, Gabriel, and Saliba, any counter-attacking threat they had, it was mopped up. It was stopped at source. They posed no threat. Bringing on 2 defensive midfielders, persisting with Martinelli for 75 minutes. Martinelli he's got no business at this level at all. Like none. He's not good enough at anything. I don't know how anybody watches anything that he does and says, yeah, this man should be involved in title races. He's rubbish. Like real life rubbish. Like I've been fighting this fight for so long about this guy, and yeah, he had a sporty season. He got a lot of goals in transition when nobody really cared about us. So teams would try and play against us, but now they care. And he's so rubbish that they always know they can leave their right back 1v1 against him at all times. At all times, which means they can double up on the other side on the more important players. And it's leaving 1v1 because he can't do anything. Ashley Young is 39 years of age. And not only is he 39 years of age, he's a 39-year-old converted winger. It's not like he's a 39-year-old career fullback.
Right.
Martinelli beat him one time. One time.
That is not good.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. Marino, pointless signing. I don't know what he does. I generally don't know what that guy is there for. He doesn't break lines. He doesn't create anything. He wins a few headers and he passes a few 5-yard passes. But he doesn't do anything expansive that you'd think, okay, I see why we need him in the midfield. If we're chasing the game at home, and it's not, we've got Marino, defensive midfielder, Rice has come off. Marino, Partey, and Jorginho. Why have we got 3 defensive midfielders on the pitch in the last 20 minutes? When we're playing a team that have had 21% possession in the whole game.
All right, so your main gripes are with the manager. Before we kind of get to like the what's next, the players you do have. So you have.
So my main gripe is with the manager, and some of the players that he's persisting with are not good enough for our current ambitions. A lot of people are scapegoating Odegaard, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. He didn't have a great game yesterday, but he's a good enough player that he only needs a moment to change a football match. So taking him off was suicide. But yeah, Havertz not good enough, Martinelli not good enough, Marino not good enough.
Damn. Disu, you watched the game. What were your thoughts? Obviously, you're a guy who is I know you spend most of your week battling touchy gooners. So how did it play out for you? How much of what Ant said did you agree with? Was anything he said you didn't agree with?
No, I think unfortunately I agree with everything Anton said.
Man said unfortunately.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think I don't I don't think the result was actually kind of was actually on the manager, because I think Arsenal do play a bit too safe and they don't push enough bodies going forward. And I want to give a shout out to Dr. Lee from Touchy Gooners. Like I asked him, it's funny because I actually asked him I just wanted to hear him rant. I didn't actually care about the analysis. I just wanted to laugh. But he actually gave me really good analysis, which was actually a bonus. So I was like, oh, what going on? Like, what happened? And he says that the teams kind of set up in a particular way against Arsenal, right? Mid block, shut off the central spaces. That's why I see Odegaard kind of drift out wide a bit more, try to stop the ball going to Saka, and it kind of causes Arsenal problems. He goes, a lot of
Southampton
teams.
sacked their manager.
Yeah, they sacked him.
He did, and the guy who announced it looks just like the manager. That's firing, boy.
Yeah, so Dr. Lee was like, listen, when teams defend against you, you need multiple threats. So guys who can kind of make something happen out of nothing. So like Liverpool, they got Salah, they could do that. Like people who can pop shots from distance. Like so last year, City had that with Foden. Like he could just score from the edge of the box, and also De Bruyne as well as Rodri. And also you have to be very dynamic in your transition opportunities. And I think Liverpool are the best team in the league in transition. And whereas with all you kind of bang with set pieces, where he said Arsenal have been great with set pieces this year, which is a fact. But in transition, you lot haven't been good. Like 2022, 2023, you're one of the best transition teams I've seen in many years, right? And I also don't feel like you have enough threat. I was watching the game yesterday and the Fulham game. It was quite similar things to me where Saka looked really good. He got wherever he wants. He wants to get down the line, get down the line. If he wants to cut inside, he'll cut inside. The touches, holding up play, playing people in, the crossing, everything was great. But outside Saka, them other attackers are not threatening whatsoever. Not threatening at all. And I think definitely not to the extent that Spurs do it. Spurs push a lot of bodies forward and are very committed to transition, pushing bodies forward, where obviously you see the downside effects, but they score a lot of goals. And by doing that, right? I think Arsenal can be more adventurous in that regards. Also, there's definitely a very clear personnel issue. I think I saw a stat today where all the Arsenal attackers outside of Saka is like 68 appearances, 8 goals, 9 assists, and Saka is like 17 appearances, 9 goals, 12 assists. So Saka is outproducing everybody else by like a big margin. Havertz, Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus, and Trossard aren't good enough. Odegaard is playing really poor at the moment. And when Odegaard's playing poor, Arsenal don't really have anybody else with any
I
sort
don't think you can say Odegaard's playing really poor at the moment. Odegaard had a bad game today.
A bad game against Fulham?
I mean, not today, yesterday. Yeah.
Bad game against Fulham?
Yeah,
and a bad game against Man United. That will make 3 in a row.
Yeah, I stand down. You're right.
Trust me, my bro. I've been monitoring this very closely. Yeah? I didn't even have iPhone notes. Yeah, because this year I'm not letting this slide. Anyway, so Odegaard isn't in these greatest bits of form right now, and it's damaging Arsenal. And this is not even to blame Odegaard, but surely there should be other players in the squad of 23 that can do something. Because it's like literally outside of Odegaard and Saka, nobody else in the Arsenal 23 man or 25 players registered can create for somebody else to create for themselves on a somewhat consistent basis. And I think that's an issue. And I understand why Arsenal fans have been really upset, because all man has done is buy 8'10" defenders.
Yeah, like this, and also the squad hasn't changed that much from last season. I think last season it was a similar case, but the difference is last season, obviously, I think the second half of last season, Arsenal literally didn't concede. Like they barely conceded. Obviously, this season is a bit different now, shipping a little bit more goals. Still look relatively calm defensively, but yeah, like I think it's been the same since, because obviously Arteta hasn't added much by way of creativity, by way of attacking thrust. So what we're seeing here is kind of when the likes of like Trossard aren't scoring like they were previously, to kind of facilitate and help out. Havertz went on a good run last season, second half of the season as well. So now that that's dried up, you're kind of just left with what it is really. Yeah, I think that their squad needs big work in terms of the attack going forward.
Yeah,
but
I don't even think it's big work. I think getting like one other an attacker, as long as he stays healthy, it's a massive difference. 2 makes a difference. So if you compare them to the 2 teams that are in the title race, right? So I think Chelsea have a bunch of players who they're not at the level of Saka or outside of Palmer. They're not at the level of Saka, right? But they are players that could create something themselves. Like on any given match day week, Felix or Neto or Madueke or Jackson are going to do something, right?
Yeah.
Even Sancho did something the other day. That's another player, right?
Yeah.
Liverpool, Salah's going to be on point all year. Trent's going to be creating stuff all year. And then every month, one of Jota, Gakpo, or Luis Diaz will be on a tear up. Like one of them will be sick for 6 weeks and then fall off for 8 weeks, and the other one will pick it up, right? And then Nunes might have a good game here and there. So I think whereas Arsenal, they don't really have that. Like Trossard had his hot streak last year. Havertz had his hot streak last year. They're kind of not really having that this year so far. And I think this could be a blown opportunity for Arsenal because I don't think the league is at the level it has been in recent years. Right?
Yeah,
I do think Liverpool
Arsenal the last 2 seasons are good enough to be clear of the league this season. Arsenal
100%.
this season aren't
agreed.
as good as we've been.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think it's easily rectifiable, and the club now and the manager have got a way of signaling their intent. Yeah, I don't know why clubs are so against spending money in January. Spending money in January is the same as spending money in the summer. Yeah, it's money.
I think it's
that's the main thing because anyone who's playing well, they're in the middle of a campaign with their current team.
The reality of it is, if you're a big club,
Mhm.
if you're a big club, you can always bully the smaller clubs, whether it be in January or the summer, whatever.
I think there is a reason why we don't see it in
Evan
January,
Ferguson is available from Brighton. I would sign Evan Ferguson.
Oh, back on the transfer rumor mill, yeah. All right, Evan.
I'm just saying what I would do, and part of the reason I hate football fans is a year ago or whenever it was, Evan Ferguson scored his goals against Chelsea, and people was talking about pay 100 million for him in the summer.
Yeah, facts.
Then you saw a young player fall out of favor with a manager, not really get a shot, and now all of a sudden nobody wants that same player that they were 100 million pound confident in just a year ago.
It's the best time to grab him, to be fair.
Yeah, so I'm either going to throw money at him or I'm going to throw money at Liam Delap at Ipswich, but I'm going to throw money at or Sesko. I'm going to throw money at a striker in January. I don't believe Isak's obtainable, but or I would even review the situation at Aston Villa with Ollie Watkins, because I think Duran is gonna take his place at a point. Yeah, and I think that time is coming now. And I would definitely sign a left winger to start that scores goals and beats players. And you cannot tell me that across the flipping 20-odd professional football leagues in world football, from France, Germany, Spain, Holland, there is not a pacey left winger that
there's actually fair, because
and put the ball in the net. But I would prioritize spending money in January on those 2 positions right now.
Yeah, and
now.
On what you said about the left winger, and we were having like a chat in Mugga about if we're gonna when it's looking like we're gonna sell Rashford, right? So somebody was like, how are we gonna replace Rashford? There's nobody out there. And obviously Rings, he watched a lot of football. He dropped like a list of like loads of like players. And even I wish I could find the list, but there's a lot of like really promising, exciting left-sided attackers that could dribble, that could potentially score goals and whatnot. So it's not like a position that might be one of the most stacked positions in terms of potential players that you can go and buy. And
even that argument, though, I hate that argument generally. Like, just because me, a fan, doesn't know every quality player in the world, so what?
I expect the club to.
The conveyor belt of football is constant. There's literally is constant.
Like,
I never believe there's no
shit. January to March, there's no good players. There's bare, man.
Yeah, I agree.
I also think Arsenal need another midfielder.
A creative one.
Yeah, definitely a creative one.
So yes, a creative one. Yeah.
I don't think we do. I
think maybe not
right in front of us. I think he should be playing right now. Yeah, I would be playing Rice 6, Wanyeri, and Odegaard. I would trust that kid and play him.
So would I.
I would trust him and play him.
I do think it'll be hard.
Or I'd be playing him left wing.
To be fair,
yeah,
he'd be starting.
Yeah, he should definitely be starting. But to be fair, I didn't mean an out and out like number 10, just who's complete baggage, just creativity. I mean someone who could do a bit of everything, but like excel, like what gives you more going forward. Because I feel like last year, in 22-23, obviously you had Xhaka, who was really, really good. Lost him, and then last season Declan Rice was playing very, very well along with Odegaard. And like this season, Declan hasn't been at that level, and obviously Odegaard has come back from injury, so I feel like you are missing a little bit there. Because Moreno, I don't really see what Moreno does.
I think Declan Rice has been playing better now. They've put him further back where
Yeah,
he should be.
yeah,
Because you want
Yeah,
Declan Rice.
Rice has been good last few games.
yeah. So he's
Yeah,
best,
because
we can agree.
Shokara, you play the guy who's really good at winning duels, getting about the pitch, driving forward, and is better when he can see the whole picture rather than playing him in an area that's kind of reserved for like your really creative and clever players who will know how to make space in the hardest part of the pitch. I felt like Rice was wasted there. So, and when you have Rice there and you have flipping Saliba, Gabriel, and Timber, you can be more adventurous with your other midfield selections. You don't need to play another bouncer in midfield. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think I think getting a Sesko or Delap is going to be difficult because of their team's objectives. Ferguson, I don't think will be as difficult because like what's going on, they got bad them and they just create players all the time. So I think that would be difficult. But I think getting a left-hand attacker might be more conducive. But yeah, I've been saying what you said, Anton. I will actually try to play Ethan Oeri on the left because from what I've seen of him so far, the dribbling is special and he likes to get shots off. So why don't you try to play him on the left wing and let him drift in field?
Yeah,
And do something?
I would have been playing him. So for me, I would have been playing him left wing because our left winger is left 1v1 so often. Like I'm telling you, if you gave, I'm trying to think who starts left wing in the Premier League for most teams. So
There's Barnes, there's Matoma, there's Eze, there's Son.
bro, give any of those guys the 1v1s that Martinelli gets. I swear to God, they're causing problems. I can't think of many left wingers that are worse than that guy.
On God. And that thing he does where he dribble stops. He dribble stops. That's not shaking anybody, my bro.
Nah, he's bad. Bad.
Quick question though. I remember when there was the idea of playing ESR and Odegaard as 2-8s. And like and a lot of Arsenal fans were against that. Is there a similar reason? Is there a similar like kind of pattern with that with Ranieri and Odegaard, or do you think it would completely?
Do you know it is? This is going to be a long-winded answer, but you'll get where I'm going with it. So I think football fans develop an affinity for how their manager does things, and that becomes the way they see how the game should be played. So I grew up with the George Graham boring Arsenal thing, and then Wenger came and everything was pretty and sexy football. So that became what I liked about football and how I liked football played, right? A lot of Arsenal fans, where we fell off, and then Arteta's come and it's all about this strong physical control thing, and you can only have one of these type of players and one of that type of players. That's now how they see the game. So they now think you can't have two creative attacking players in a midfield. It has to be one and somebody else that does the dog work. They think that's the only way you can build a football team. Even though you could look across most teams that you've seen be successful in the time you've liked football, and that's not how they're built, but this is generally what they believe. So the fans, because the manager is pragmatic, a lot of the fan base is also pragmatic, and they don't want to see anything that deviates from that. And, so they've become risk aversive. So in answer to your question, yes, there is a massive thing of, oh no, that's too dangerous, will be too open, too risky. But that's what Declan Rice is for. Declan Rice can cover the ground of 2-3 man. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a fan. Like, we've literally seen Declan Rice do that in his career. His anticipation of danger and the ground he can cover. You don't need extra protection in midfield. You also don't need it when you've got pace at the back like you have with Gabriel and Saliba. The reason why defenses needed so much protection before is because defenders couldn't run. But you've got elite athletes behind. So what worries do you have when you've got Gabriel, Saliba, Timber, Rice? What worries do you have?
Yeah.
Like, a team's got to do really well to beat you in transition when those are the 4 players they're having to go past. Do you know what I mean? So it's a gamble we could well afford to take, especially at home. To Everton.
I think
that's like you have like a 3 like top world-class defensive players, and instead of using that as a launch pad to be able to be more expansive attacking wise and take more risks, Arteta compounds it with more defensive players.
But to be fair, that point about Declan Rice that Ant made, that's where I was going when I was talking about potentially getting another midfielder, because we can all agree that Rice is obviously better in the 6 and covers mad ground, very good defensively. So that's why I felt like, to be fair, when I was making the point, I forgot Wanyeri exists. So that's why I'll say that another 8 to take the place of Morayo would be good to give them something more second forward, because you've got solid base there. But just one more last question, actually. I seem to remember you saying that you fell on your sword with Havertz, but you've said he's not good enough this pod. So where are you on that one? Have you taken another U-turn?
I've never rated him. Like I said, even when you lot were trying to force me to praise him, I said he's serviceable. And every 5 minutes, if he'd score, me just like, is Havertz still serviceable? And I'd be like, yes. So he was putting the ball in the net. So I couldn't be like, oh, this is the worst guy we've ever had, which was my previous stance. But he's not putting the ball in the net.
There's a time a few weeks ago you were better than serviceable, though.
Yeah, like, a few weeks ago you said you fell on your sword.
You said,
was I? Maybe I was caught on a crest of enjoyment because I was like,
that guy stinks, bro.
This is him. He will go on a purple.
Remember the whole time in Touchy Gooners from like last year, I can't even remember. Me and Leroy were telling man, Chris Wood is better than Kai Havertz, innit?
That's crazy.
But Chris Wood is better than a lot of stuff.
No, I mean it was crazy when you lot were
And like German Dan was trying to argue with man for ages.
Yeah. Where's he these days? I ain't seen him all weekend.
I ain't seen him tweeting about
that little child shoulder can't step outside from when I'm back.
Allow my son, man. He's at work. He's working hard.
When this is about, he can't step outside, cuz.
Hey, you leave.
Why do you say when this is about, he can't step out?
You leave my son alone.
Rhyme it, slang, brother.
We might have to bring back Reece Nelson.
No, don't kill me.
Bro, I said this on Twitter a few weeks ago, yeah. If Reece Nelson had been given half of the opportunities to play into form that Gabriel Martinelli has, we'd have a player on our hands. And I don't even rate Nelson. But platform matters. Like Arteta, he picks the players that he likes, and then the players that he doesn't like, he'll give them 20 minutes every 3 weeks.
That's normal, though.
No, you can't play into form like that.
No, but that's a normal way to approach things as the manager and the person whose job is on the line.
Right. So if you've got quality that is above the norm, then you allow it to play into form, right? So if Saka has a bad run, or Odegaard has a bad run, Gabriel, Saliba, Rice, whatever, you allow that to play into form. Gabriel Martinelli has had probably 1 or 2 good games in 2 seasons.
He has, but I think what you guys have seen, or what Arteta's seen, is that season he had where he scored 15 league goals, 17 league goals, and that is what they're chasing, right? That
he's got 15 league goals.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Right. So right, have you guys heard of a man that plays for Newcastle called Miguel Almiron?
Yeah,
Almiron, right, in his Premier League career. Hold on, let me get it up for you.
Talk about the Almiron insanity run, yeah?
Right. Run. Yeah, right. So Almiron, in his entire Premier League career, has scored a grand total of 23 goals.
Yeah.
However, he scored 12 goals in a 5-month spell.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Just 2 seasons ago, right?
Okay.
A player can have a hot streak. It doesn't make them a good player. It doesn't mean
I don't disagree, but I am questioning the point that, why is he not giving other players the same platform? He doesn't rate them, and so it's just natural to lean into the players that you rate, because at the end of the day, the squad choice is yours, and you live and die by those decisions. If he keeps using Martinelli and decides not to buy other players because he believes in Martinelli, and Martinelli is ultimately what ends up costing his job, his head goes on that. But if he doesn't rate Reece Nelson, he's not going to play him more than Martinelli. He's not going to be trying to give Reece Nelson a platform to prove him wrong because he doesn't fundamentally rate him more than the other guy. So that doesn't surprise me. That's normal. And the thing we struggle with as fans is when we rate players, but they aren't the player the manager rates, we spend so much time getting frustrated about the manager not giving that player a platform. You don't rate him, unfortunately.
Yeah, you're right.
Nice. All right, cool. Let's take a second to go to our sponsors. The Super Six rollover is coming to town. That's right. Every Saturday until Christmas, our friends at Super Six are rolling over their £250,000 jackpot each weekend if it isn't one. Definitely wasn't one this weekend. So what? It's £1 million. That would be a nice Christmas present for you, Shems, right?
Right.
Lovely. I need more enthusiasm next time. 1 million.
Oh my gosh. Man spoke to you about the prospect of winning £1 million. I said, right.
Yeah.
Like you're getting a free dinner at Nando's. Flipping hell, mate.
I don't believe you can win it. Let's quickly go around next weekend Super Six games and I'll get some predictions from you guys. The first one is a Saturday 3 p.m. Brentford at home versus Nottingham Forest. Who do you guys think will win? Not one each, as a group.
Ooh.
2-2 draw.
Yeah, I'm going for a score draw.
Okay. Cool.
Witter and Embuemo with the goals for Brentford. Chris Wood and Ryan Yates with the goals for Nottingham Forest. By the way, can I just say Ryan Yates is a bad player? I don't know what he's doing in the Premier League.
I was just going to say Super Six is just scores, yeah? I like it.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to put a bit of razzle.
Oh, you just want to put a bit of spin on it, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Next one is West Ham at home versus Brighton, another Saturday 3 p.m. What are we thinking?
I'm going to go another score draw, you know?
What score, though? Super Six is
1-1.
about the specifics.
1-1.
All right, cool. Next one, another Saturday 3 p.m. Ipswich at home versus Newcastle.
3-1 Newcastle.
Yeah, 3-1. Can't
Cool.
that.
And then the last Saturday game of the 5:30 Crystal Palace at home versus Arsenal.
0-0.
Last two Saturday.
Alright, we might as well go to that game, Morayo.
It's round the corner, like.
Yeah, let's go, man.
Yeah, there should be tickets. Yeah, let's
get tickets still.
Okay, let's reach.
Martin Odegaard, I double dare you to not show up. Oh my god.
Sunday 2 p.m. Fulham versus Southampton. What's your guys' prediction?
3-0 Fulham.
6-0 Fulham.
And then the last game is the Tottenham versus Liverpool Sunday. All eyes on me. 4:30 predictions.
3-2 Spurs.
3-2 Liverpool.
Where is it?
It's at Spurs Stadium.
Oh wow, Liverpool finally got a fucking away game. Those bastards play at home every fucking week. Fam, they never play away. Nah, Liverpool play 28 home games a season.
What's your prediction,
I
Anne?
swear to God, fam. Every time Liverpool, I'm like, Anfield again. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it feels like they play Anfield like 25 times a season.
Brother, they're at home every week, man.
So all you have to do is head over to the Super 6 app, enter your 6 prediction, and the money could be yours. Remember, terms and conditions apply. 18 plus, begambleaware.com. Guys, sign up to the Touchline Fracas Super 6 Mini League. And even if you don't win the £1 million, you can win a £100 voucher at classicshirts.co.uk. How does that sound, Shems?
Fantastic.
God. Better. We'll keep working on it, man. All right, let's go to our awards for this week. I will start with the usual. Get Big Sam in as defensive coach if he ain't managing. Disu, I'm going to start with you. What manager are you going to give the either positive or negative award? And like some people have been doing, coming up with 2 or 3 managers every single week.
Nah, strictly negativity for me. Negativity, festivity. Mikel Arteta, yeah? One, you had a team that was playing some of the best football I've seen in recent years in 22-23. And all you have done is your best to moisify the team week by week, brick by brick. And then to make matters worse, you now have a flipping set piece coach running around like he's bloody what's that girl's name? Zidane or what? Like she's a flipping celebrity. what's my man's name? Jova. Why do I know what the set piece coach is called? The man's got a mural. He's got a
Well, you
flipping.
the one who tweeted about the mural.
Yeah, come on.
You know how proud he was of that tweet. He even quoted it from his own account. He's such
Did he?
Every time I see, I start laughing. I'm
flipping
genius.
idiot. I never
I'm a
seen
flipping-
someone. That was the Jacobs by Jacobs by Jacobs.
I'll never forget that tweet ad. Jacobs by Jacobs by Mark Jacobs. Who?
Yeah.
Mark Jacobs. For Mark Jacobs. When? Mark Jacobs.
Brother, Jacobs was letting you know he was involved in that still.
Oh my god! Why has man got a mural? That is disgusting.
This who quoted his own tweet talking about I'm hilarious. Fam,
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
just add the
insane.
entire tweet and shut up, man.
That's insane. The streets will decide if you're hilarious, man.
Do you know what I mean?
They have already decided. They've already decided.
Shebs, get Big Sam in as defensive coach if he ain't managing. Who's your award winner this week?
Yeah, I'm going positive, and it's going to Onslaught. I watched the Liverpool game, and I saw him when they went down to 10 men. I saw him tweak the team like 2 or 3 times.
How? What did you do? Because I've heard about this.
So when they went down to 10 men, initially he dropped Gravenberch into centre back. So they played with three centre backs: him, Gomez, and Van Dijk, with Cody Gakpo and Trent Alexander-Arnold as wing backs. But then he saw that Fulham kept on getting joy down the right hand side. Like Wilson kept on going in, and they kept on finding the runners on down that side. So he switched Joe Gomez over to the left hand side and kind of just took that responsibility away from Cody Gakpo, because he saw that Gakpo just isn't switched on defensively. And then he made a couple of other tweaks as well. I think Diaz was up top at one point and then kind of just changed it a little bit. But yeah, he made some tweaks, and then once it settled down, Liverpool just completely dominated the game with 10 men. I was quite impressed with that. Made some good subs. Jota came on, scored a really good goal. So yeah, I'll give it Onslaught, because I thought it was going to get spooky for them when Robertson got sent off, because Fulham were already causing problems before that.
Back to Dis's point a few weeks ago, you can still actually play good with 10 men. That's actually allowed. Get Big Simon as defensive coach if you ain't managing. And who are you giving your award to this week?
I'm giving it to Spain. For Pep and Arteta. They can both have it.
Fair.
It's a joint award.
Yeah, I was gonna go Pep as well. But since you've gone Pep, I'm gonna go Ruben Amorim. He made some tough decisions this week, which he knew he'd get questions about, but made them regardless. And he was able to put another nail in. I can't even call it a coffin, because the guy has won the league like 4 or 5 times in a row. But it was nice to beat City at the Etihad. So I'm gonna shout out Amorim. There's gonna be some more dark days to come, but today was a good day. All right, cool. The next award is it's not Double Denim award for the moment that had you, Disu, the most rattled this week. I'll start with you, Shems.
It is definitely Mateus Cunha confiscating man's glasses after the end of the game. Like, that is a ridiculous thing to do. If somebody took, because I wear glasses, so if someone did that to me, I would be extreme.
How bad are your eyes?
Well, to be fair, I'm short-sighted, so I still be able to scrap, but either way, I'd be fuming. But yeah, that had me rattled. I've never seen that. And Wolves just keep losing their heads. That's the second time in a week they've started scrapping after a loss.
I don't want to be racist or anything.
Why has Gary O'Neill got them scrapping, bro?
They got too many black players.
Oh my god!
Them man,
that's what my Sunday team was like, fam. If we lose, there's gonna be a fight. You need balance in a football team, bro. You can't have too much black players.
He's a pussy anyway, bro. He's a pussy.
Those don't work.
He goes school Monday to Friday anyway.
Look, this sounds. You see, if I was in control of like AFCON and that, you could have 2 European players in your team.
When you said 2 European players, what do you mean? Oh,
like white Europeans. Like a German.
So I want. So does it have to? Can you do South America as well, or is it just Europe?
No. They got to be European.
I want Erling Haaland
and Toni Kroos in the Nigeria team. You lot will win.
Oh my gosh! Are you mad?
I'm telling you.
Kroos, that controller.
Bro.
That's a sick.
Look, all the European teams have got African players. What about the African teams have some European players?
No, it's valid.
Just two. You know, like how you can play two overage players in under 21s.
Yeah.
Tell you, 2 European players per team.
European players for and the clubs can't say no. That
Nah.
was crazy. What moment had you the most rattled this weekend, Ant?
The substitution of Martin Odegaard.
What, your head was gone, yeah?
I was done for. I was done.
I was high as a kite.
Yeah, fuck you.
Disu, what moment had you the most rattled this weekend?
I have not been rattled at all. Quite the opposite. I've been on cloud 9, bro.
That's hilarious.
I've been on cloud 9.
Oh gosh. For me, I was watching the AC Milan match and Morata missed 2 sitters and he messed up my ACCA for the weekend, man. They were the last team. They were the last team. 5 bills. Alvaro fucking Morata, head in the sky. First one, left foot, decides to go wide, and then the second one is literally like 10 yards out, and rather than places it, he tries to roof it and hits the crossbar. Guy's a piece of shit, man. It was just before the pod started. That's why I didn't send the link. You know, I said I was preoccupied, and that's why the other time I was watching the AC.
I might be the worst better of all time.
Why?
Here's my bet from the weekend.
Good.
It was like bare teams in it. I had Bayern Munich, they lost.
Oh gosh.
Bayer Leverkusen won, Birmingham won, Newcastle won, Liverpool drew, Arsenal drew, Middlesbrough won, Marseille lost, Monaco lost, Real Madrid drew. They all drew. Real Madrid drew, Barca lost, Benfica drew, and Sporting won.
Jesus.
Yeah, how can I get so much wrong?
To me, when I hear that, you just bet for fun. You're not really trying to win. You just put every game. Literally, football is the game of upsets. That's why we watch it. If everything we thought was going to happen every weekend happened, we wouldn't love football. So for me, you're trying
I had a 4-team over 2.5. Newcastle, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Huddersfield. Only Newcastle of my 4. Like my success rate this week, like like normally with accumulator, like you'll be like, I was only 2 off.
1 or 2, yeah. Just there was some surprising results this weekend though. Juventus messed up as well. Real Madrid, like you mentioned. Yeah, I did. I only do. Anyway, we've turned it into a completely other pod. We could add this to the no agenda. All right. Next question is agenda of the week. The no agenda of the week. I'm gonna start with you, Disu, because you were meant to start the No Agenda show with, and you guys still haven't started. It was 3 months ago, and I've got an agenda out against the 2 of you. But what's your agenda this week?
Martin Overdraft, as they call it him. My goodness, this couldn't have gone any better if I written. I just typed his name, and Arsenal fans are just going absolutely ham. Oh, mate, it's just so good. And the thing is, I rate Odegaard. I think he's a brilliant player. I just took offense to people shouting at me like, how dare I say Maddison is as good as Odegaard? So I said, okay, cool. All right, cool. What we're going to do, we're going to watch every single game as a family, and we're going to hold every single game to the same standard, right? And the moment, it's so funny, every time I do that, it gets dark real quick. And also, I've got a bit of motion. So when I start pointing things out, it starts to pick up steam. And then the train starts rolling. And 1 bad game becomes 2. And 2 becomes 3. And all of a sudden,
I've got a bit of motion.
all of a sudden, I'm high as a kite. Bro, the Arsenal fans have not been in the group chat for 2 days. They're running scared.
That is crazy. What I don't rate is, if you're going to stick your neck out and tell us a man is wavy, even when he falls off, don't run. Don't hide it. Stand on it.
Maybe a week ago, they were like, yo, Disu, are you going to finally change your mind to say that Odegaard's better than Madison? I was like, I've had that opinion before I knew any of you. I've had that opinion since. When Madison was playing sick, I had that opinion. When Odegaard was playing sick, Madison was playing good, I had that opinion. And why would I randomly change it now? Because Madison's had a better season than Odegaard. So why would I change it now? And they're like, I said, well, me personally, if one person is a better dribbler, better passer, better shooter, scores more goals, gets more assists, I think I'll go with that player. If you're gonna go with our player, cool. But it's definitely a debate. But now I have to put him in the dirt. Now I have to put him in the dirt, bro. It's just what it is, man. It's just business. It's not personal.
It's just business. And what's your
Congrats to
no
new kid,
agenda?
Odegaard. Congrats, man. Newest member of Dad family.
Is he?
Yeah.
Bro,
That's
sleepless nights, man. And the no agenda of the week. Who you bringing? What's your agenda?
What is my agenda? It's an old one. A classic one. One that I was very proud to launch many moons ago. Philip Walter Foden. Your team needs you, Philip. Where are you, Philip? What are you doing, Philip? We haven't
I'm not going to say it.
Philip.
You don't know what I say every time you bring up Foden. You don't know what
We
I'm
haven't
going to
seen
repeat
you,
again.
Philip. Philip,
I'm not
when
repeat
are
again.
you going to turn up, Philip?
All I'm saying is when them man what you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
We need to know when Philip is going to turn up. Yeah,
Do you see what Pep said this week? We haven't had Rodri or Foden this season. I said, hold on.
That was bloody insane.
Hey, he is.
That was
Box
bloody
office.
insane.
Part of being a quality manager, the quotes, bro, the press conference, how you dominate that room as well. That is all part of the package, man.
Man said we had Foden this year. That is crazy.
I just want to let Disu know that also in the last 3 seasons, Odegaard has more goals than Madison, so maybe he should show his man.
Oh, so did Odegaard join 3 seasons ago or 4 seasons ago?
He was in a foreign country. Is finding his feet.
Cool. Shem, what's your no agenda of the week?
God
my
damn
good
second.
man?
So yeah, this brother, I'm gonna nominate. So I was watching the Fulham game and I was watching. They're apart from Wilson, all of their attacking players just lack so much quality. So, okay, cool. I see. Like I'm looking at the bench, I'm seeing ESR. I'm like, okay, cool. Like there's no reason for these men to snatch your chain because these men are whack. So I see him getting ready to come onto the pitch around 60, 70th minute. I'm like, okay, cool. We're gonna add some quality. Cool. This guy was breathing heavy like a dog, bro. Breathing heavy like a dog.
Can I stand up for my boy? Can I?
He looks,
finish.
no, you can't. You can't. He looks way off of it. Emil Smith Rowe, I've seen the talent at Arsenal. I've seen it. He should He should be head and shoulders above everyone in that full team. He should be running games, bro. Running games. He came out against Alfred. He looked way off the pace. And like I was so annoyed because Andres Pereira was making horrible decisions. Horrible decisions. It won't be typical, it will give you a bit of running here and there, but the final quality is just never there. Jimenez doing this. I'm just like, fam, just give me something. The game was there. The game was there. There was so many openings, because by 10 men. But these men were just making terrible decisions. I saw ESL coming down. I was like, okay, cool. I need someone with a bit of brains. Nothing. So here's my agenda for this week. It must be for
valid criticism, but in his defense, ESR is a terrible sub. We saw it at Arsenal. ESR has never come off the bench and had a good game. And the reason he was on the bench is because last week he decided he wanted Arsenal to win. So he did not try one bit. Yeah. So in his defense, when he has played really well for Fulham, a lot of the games I've seen, not all of them. So he has looked head and shoulders above, man. But yeah, last week he tried to throw the game for us, big him up for that. And he's a bad sub. So it's just bad timing.
What about the heavy breathing?
Yeah, he couldn't get into the tempo of the game. Look, he's part mixed race, bro. Come on, man. That brother grew up on turkey drummers and chicken dinosaurs.
Turkey drummers! Hey! That fed a generation, brother.
Chicago Town pizzas for dinner. Not even
Chicago
after
Town
school
pizzas.
snack.
What do you believe?
That was real life dinner.
Can we get a Chicago Towner? Anyway, cool. I don't have any agendas this week, to be honest with you. Nothing I'm particularly holding on to, so I'll skip that one. And then the final one is the ESR underrated player of the week. I know I have talent in conjunction with the underrated app. If you're not on there already, you're crazy. Best fantasy app on the market right now. And I'll stay with you. Who's your underrated player of the week?
Anthony Robinson.
Good
Anthony
player.
Robinson. Because in the last 2 weeks, he's faced Saka and Salah. And whilst he's been beaten a few times, like they're top players, in it, they've had moments. By and large, he coped with both pretty well. So yeah, I'm gonna go Anthony Robinson.
Cool. I like that one. Shems. Yes, I know I have talent. Underrated player of the
I'm
week.
gonna go with Gravenberch. I think.
Still.
Huh?
Still, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with. I think dropping back into centre back in that game. It wasn't an easy kind of role to do, but he handled himself very, very well. It looks as good as he does in midfield this season. So yeah, I'll give it Gravenberch.
Cool. Disu. I know I have talent.
I have 3 people.
Go on.
First one, James Maddison. Very underrated.
Go on.
Very underrated. Very underrated. Balled out today. Brilliant goal. Just top quality player. Could dribble.
I'm sorry, that's ridiculous.
What's ridiculous?
Because as pointed out on the pod or in the group chat, I can't remember that how many times this calendar year has he gone through sports where he's just absolutely just not performed, and you come in here and tell us he's underrated
Because he played well against Southampton.
bro. It doesn't make no sense.
Southampton.
Wow.
This
This is the
dude could
first time
have a
I've
good
seen-
game against Southampton. Like, what are we doing here?
This is crazy. This is the first time I've seen the panel go against somebody's.
Yeah, we're
Look,
not,
for one of
we're
the
not
awards.
accepting this
This
nomination.
is a watershed moment in touchline history. Disu
I
getting voted.
listened to the depressed
We've
ass
decided we are not
Antonio
accepting
and
this
punk ass
nomination.
Shems, yeah. Before I grab Shem's glasses like Cunha, man. Shut up, man. Shut up. Anyway, my other award nominee is, of course, Amad Diallo, for obvious reasons. And the final one is Martin Lewis Skelly. He's had a couple games.
His name is Miles. He's a black
Miles.
kid from Israel.
Martin,
Why would
yeah?
his name be Martin?
Lewis Skelly, yeah.
Martin Lewis Skelly is my award winner.
No, you can't. No, you can't power through it. Our Mike. No,
Martin
you can't. No,
Lewis
you didn't know his
Skelly.
name. You can't power
Okay.
through it.
Okay, Malcolm Lewis Skelly,
Miles.
Mohammed Lewis Skelly,
Idiot.
What did
MLS. Sorry, Miles Lewis
Pray
Skelly.
hands and then he said, Insha.
That was so funny.
Where did you not find that Khalil guy?
Nah, Khalil's funny still.
No,
I don't know where they found him, but he's funny. I like that guy.
MLS. He looks like a really good technician. Very comfortable on the ball, aggressive with his passing, and he's a young boy. So to see him, when you see really young players come in and they don't look out of place at all, I think that's a very big statement, especially and he's not just making a statement in any team. This is a team that's got big aspirations. They're under a lot of pressure, and he fits in like a glove in it. So, yeah, he was showing certain man how to pass the ball forward and that. So I respect him for that. So MLS.
Understood. All right, nice one, brothers. I think it's fair to say the panel didn't accept the Madison shout.
I don't give a heck what the panel accepts. I don't give a heck. The award was underrated player of the week. Madison is underrated because people think that he's not that good.
Horrible shout.
Player of the week. Simple. I wonder when Shem's boy Mount's going to play good. Can you ask him that?
I wonder when he's going to play again.
When he can stay fit. That's when.
Let's finish up with some listeners' questions, gentlemen. Ratstingus. Has football PR fallen off? Arsenal start to struggle and they blame Arsenal Fan TV and even the stadium announcers instead of the manager. Also, which club has the best PR? So firstly, has football PR fallen off? I don't know what you're asking.
I don't know if football PR used to be a thing. I think it's a relatively new phenomenon. I think your PR used to be your results. Now you can pay fan accounts to spread false narratives like Arsenal do. People used to call me crazy for that opinion, by the way. Now everyone agrees.
It's very obvious now.
Yeah, now everyone agrees. So no, I wouldn't say so. I'd say PR is a new thing in football. It can have its positives, but sometimes you see the ugly side. I hate the bullying of Arsenal Fan TV, and I can't help but feel it's rooted in racism.
100%.
Arsenal fan TV been nothing but positive for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
We were shit. Fans were unhappy. Fans said we were shit, and all of a sudden, that's the reason we were shit. How about the fact that we've got 3 defensive midfielders in the 75th minute against a team that's not trying to attack? Maybe that's the reason we didn't score. I don't know. So yeah, in answer to the question,
It was Arsenal fans TV's fault that Arteta made 3 shit subs.
yeah. Robbie told him to do it.
So what it is, is because people actually are so unbelievably soft, even though a lot of these people are actually grown men, which is actually kind of scary. And because Arsenal fan TV also get a bad result, obviously the Arsenal fans on Arsenal fan TV are going to be very disappointed and unhappy, and they're going to voice it. And obviously fans just find that stuff funny, so it becomes fun.
I don't think it's that, You know what I think it is? I think it's that the average fan is upset that their support isn't recognized and they don't get any recognition.
They don't have a voice.
Their support, but these men get to be seen, and that's an Arsenal fan. Everyone knows who they are. I think it's a lot of
jealousy than anything else, really.
Yeah, that's what
people say. Just as crazy stuff on their Twitter accounts, and another,
what crazy? What?
All you gotta do is go to all you gotta do is go to a game. People do nothing but moan during games.
Facts.
Like people moan. This is why a lot of the time I don't like going to games because I don't want to hear people's shit opinions. I'd rather be at home by myself where nobody other than Teddy. Oh my gosh, watching football matches with Teddy is torture. That boy They don't know my gosh. I say to Ted, please stop talking to me. I'm trying to watch. You don't need to commentate. There's a commentator already. Just shush.
At least he loves the game, though.
I don't know, man. We're gonna have to do something. He's gonna have to find somewhere else to be on Saturday.
That's shit.
You're gonna have to get a job, like go sweep hair in a barbershop or something, man. Get on my nerves. So yeah, fans moan consistently throughout a game. So fans moaning after a bad result on camera isn't the end of the world. These people are tripping. They're tripping.
Fair. All right. Next question is I know it'd probably be good if I hadn't come off the listeners' questions. Question: James NUFC 92 back because Newcastle won. Where does the left-hand side of Hall and Gordon rank in the league?
Where are Newcastle in the league?
That's a good question, my good brother. They are, let me check, 12th.
There you go. That's where it ranks in the league. Asking stupid ass flipping questions. What kind of dumb ass question is that? you asked to say you're 12, but you got the best left hand side of the league. Shut up, man.
Prolific 90. Can we get Disu to flog or release Swans on Ten Hag's head top on behalf of Ahmad?
If that guy gets another job again, I'll see to it he doesn't last 6 months.
That boy gonna be the manager of Feyenoord within the next year, bro.
He's getting one of the big 3 in Netherlands, man.
Yeah, they're gonna win the league.
Then I promise you, I'm watching Eredivisie.
You could never. The hate is not strong enough to put yourself through the torture of watching that shit football.
I'm not gonna lie,
you know how bad Dutch football is.
When we signed Memphis Depay, because he was a player that I was actually kind of rating before. So when we signed, I was really excited. So I went to kind of do like a mini deep dive, Bro, he scored like 5 free kicks. I swear to God, one of those free kicks. Not one of those free kicks was anywhere near the corner. They were like down the middle.
I was like women's football.
I was like, what type of league is this, bro? This is not league. This is a uni league.
It's a uni league. So here's my question: how do you separate a Suarez doing a madness in Holland from an Alfonso Alves who was doing a madness?
Because certain man, they're just different. You could see it the quality is important. The quality,
I understand what Morayo is asking. It's a difficult.
No, because when I heard, because I think a few things linked to Suarez. I think he went from post World Cup or pre World Cup, and I saw he scored like 40 goals in Holland. And when I'm seeing the stuff he was doing was actually generally mad. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think it's difficult because obviously it's level of competition, but Messi's still Messi, whether he's in France, Spain, Germany, or in Power League. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think you actually have to look nuts in your skill set. You look super fast.
But this is the thing: some people do. Look at that guy at Sporting Lisbon.
Which one?
Look how good he. If you just see them highlights from Portugal, you think this is R9. The brother can kick it past anybody, and he's gone, and then smash it in the top corner, no problem. But he couldn't do that in the Championship. So if we didn't have the evidence of him here, and that's all you saw,
I'm not gonna lie. I looked at Nunes tapes, and I was like, "This guy's scoring, but this looks terrible."
Ain't it.
Nunes never looked good to me.
His finishes were all horrible.
Yeah,
I'm going to ask you about Gyökeres is that he's now bagging league, Champions League, international. He's looking at like a menace in every game he plays at every level.
I'm not saying he's like this player, but that's what Haaland was doing. Haaland was smacking up at Salzburg. He went to the Champions League, slapped up in the Champions League, played for his country, slapped up his country, then went to Dortmund, slapped up for Dortmund. So lo and behold, he goes to City and does the same thing. So
I was going to ask Ant, is there a point where it's like maybe he was a late bloomer and actually he's just finally come into himself, and because his confidence is on 100, if he goes to the right setup, there's no reason why he can't continue bagging, because he looks like a menace against Premier League defenders.
Yeah.
Which Premier League defenders? Against City?
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen City's current run of form? I mean, I wouldn't.
Still, I think it's not to be sniffed at. I haven't watched him much, but at what point does what he's doing now start to override what you saw pre-championship? Or will you never say that,
It should. It should. However, even for example, when we played them the other day, right, he just kept trying to kick and run, and then he was just having shots that he was never going to score from. Like, a lot of teams in the Premier League, they play off of small percentages and margins, don't they? Like, you don't really see loads of wasteful shots that we're never going to score, and, you know, I'm just going to try and beat 4 players. You don't really see players doing that in England. And he was trying that against people that he didn't have any physical advantage on. So I'm still unsure. I haven't seen anything different in that guy as a player that makes me think, yeah, he's worth spending that money on. But Shemi were like this. A year ago, I thought Nicholas Jackson was garbage.
What do you think now?
No, I think he's actually quite a good striker. I think he's actually quite good. So do you know what I mean? Things can change really quick, and your initial assessment of somebody can be wrong. You know, I remember when Isak was linked with Arsenal and there was a big debate. Should we sign Jesus from City or Isak from Sociedad? And it was like, nah, Jesus is better. He's Prem proven. And Isak only scored 6 goals in Spain last season. And now look.
Yeah, it's true.
We'd give them Jesus and the money that we paid for Jesus twice for Isak right now.
Facts. That Gyökeres one is interesting as well, because if there was ever a duo to make a striker look bang average, it's your back two.
Yeah, it is unfair to use that.
They beat him up. It weren't fair. Man.
It is unfair to use that as a barometer.
It was not fair to.
Cool. Last few questions. Next one from Dracula. What are your top 3 favorite football memes and why? Mine are Jose's I prefer not to speak. Today, the Ahmad and Pep handshake after today's game. And number 3, Jose's respect 3 times press conference. What other ones come to mind?
I don't know.
Football heritage.
This is football.
Jose again.
Yeah, fair.
I
love whenever Pep go to the water bottle when his team concedes.
Oh, I like the one where Jose's jumping off the bench with his backroom staff.
Oh,
yeah,
the one.
Yeah. And he drags the guy off the bench with him.
Jose's got too many peak ones. I like the Conte and Tuchel handshake.
Yeah, that was class.
Yeah, that's elite.
These men are tapped. You know what? You have to be tapped to be a top
You have to.
manager.
You have to,
There's
so
no chance you can't not be tapped, man.
all or nothing.
All or nothing, bro. Is there any others?
The thing is, there's actually so many. It's actually crazy that we can't think of them off the top.
Well, on the yeah, one. This is less a and as we saw it with Ruud van Nistelrooy when Giggs was the assistant manager to Louis van Gaal. I think it was coming back to the end of Louis van Gaal's reign. Like clearly nobody was buying it anymore. And Louis van Gaal didn't used to do too much standing up and talking on the touchline. Giggs got up there and started like pointing and probing, and that made me sick.
Yeah, that was nasty.
That was clearly a ploy to like show, oh, I should be the next manager. And so funny, Ruud van Nistelrooy did it to Eric Ten Hag like a couple months ago.
Yep.
Exactly. Like, allow me, bro. Please. Like, allow it. That was definitely, there was definitely a couple that.
That's the auditioning for the job. Don't kill me.
In real time.
Don't
In
kill
real time. Crazy. All right, next one. Afs. Will Morayo pour a little last orders for Gary O'Neill? I will.
You were talking spicy on your boy. Your boy got sacked.
How could I be talking spicy on a mid-table manager?
Well, you were though.
I like him. He's a good manager, and I
You
stand
were
by
like,
that.
no, we could buy stocks for my guy.
No, you were trying to. You were trying to buy stocks. You were trying to buy stocks, bro. Don't let me clip that piece up. But I send me some stocks, bro. I won't send you no stocks, pussy.
Your guy got sacked.
Bet you can get them now.
You'll be getting them on the low, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Invest now.
Buy the dip.
Buy the dip, my guy. Next one. What excuse would the Touchy Goodness cast use as there's no holding or referee decisions to blame?
Arteta, innit? What kind of question is
Are we
that?
about to Arteta out?
Well, we're very close.
When you say we, what's the percentage? What's the percentage? Would you say?
When I say we, I mean me and all of my personalities. I can't see.
I am. Bro.
Next one is from Ruler of Gap. People were getting onto Lukaku for just scoring goals and not offering anything else. But these days, strikers like Haaland and Rasmus can offer no goal or anything, and nobody seems bothered about it.
Ain't Haaland still top goal scorer in the league?
Haaland literally scores a zillion goals. So I don't think he's the one to use, bro.
That's a dead point still. We're not gonna let that one.
Hoyle one's valid though.
So
Hoyle don't even score. Yeah, Hoyle don't score. So it's not even about him scoring goals, nothing else. He doesn't score. Haaland.
Surely that's worse though because
I agree.
Still gets more scrutiny, scoring more.
Haaland has played 23 games. He scored 18 goals. Yeah. So
I wonder how many do you guys is different games you scored your goals in a stat you guys look at?
I would like to look at. I think it's probably the best
stat still.
Yeah, I think it's probably the best stat in terms of your prowess as a goal scorer. Because that means that it shows how potent you are, how consistently you can get goals. Obviously, if you score goals and you get your duos and your doubles and your triples, that's important. But if you're popping in, like if you're scoring every single game, that's super lit.
Yeah, like for example, if you look at Tabby Abraham's record, 19-20, I think he got 15 goals. Mm-hmm. Respectable first season in the league, but where you go a bit, sorry, not first season league, but first season leading Chelsea. But when you dig a little bit deeper, just see hella braces, hella goal droughts. Ugh.
Yeah. I think it was like 15 and like 7 or something ridiculous.
Something like that. I think he had 11 goals by December.
Yeah, I think you guys weren't impressed at all. Last few, next one is from Miraculous Miri. I'm against the Arteta out brigade, but how much of our fans' reluctance to entertain the idea of a new manager comes from the concern that Arsenal will no longer play their traditional tiki-taka football?
I don't know.
Wait.
We lost Anne, who would probably been best placed to answer this one. Next one is from Nathaniel. In terms of player comparison, what is Ahmad's ceiling? As in, who could he be as good as? Mahrez, Mane, Rashford? You're crazy. God.
No, let's be for real. I don't know, and I'm not really going to put ceilings on players anymore because Saka, for example, is an example of a player. When I look at skills, I'm like, yeah, you're good technically, like you're going to be a good Premier League player, but he's just generally an exceptional football player. So with Ahmad, I don't know. I know at the very least he's going to be a very good player. I think being a top player, something's going to have to go seriously wrong for him not to be a top player. And I feel like he seems like a very grounded individual, right? And I think like his the way he goes about his business in terms of his mentality when playing, I think it's a bit different from the other super talented youngsters United have had, probably since like Rooney, in terms of like he's like Ahmad does a lot of hard work off the ball. Like he is really he's super intense. So he works off the ball. He tries to press. He goes in for every challenge. He goes in for every header, as well as having the good technical stuff and so on and so forth. So I think as long as he stays healthy, I don't see him like falling off really and truly.
I love it. Next one is from OJ_216. Apologies, I think you've sent questions in a few times in the last few weeks and I haven't gotten around to them. Start sending them earlier so they're closer to the top. First one, what are the odds of Arteta signing another centre-back or DM in January to augment Arsenal's corner routines?
I am screaming.
I'm finished. I am finished.
That's probably what he's looking at and cooking up as we speak, brother.
We're going to have Vestergaard.
And how many more L's will it take for Pep to assault someone?
I think he's already beaten up Nunes today.
Definitely.
They showed scratches on the, them scratches he had, but on the back of his head. Back of his head, bro. The guy's a peak guy. And then final question. Cheers, Chris, U290R. Why couldn't Arsenal get a win at the Etihad in 4 years?
Why can't Arsenal get a win at the Etihad?
Why couldn't Arsenal get a win at the Etihad in the last 4 years?
Because they go there and they don't try to do anything apart from defend or open Yash. That's the only options they have.
Yeah, no in between.
Fair enough, man. Again, when you get to that magical 2 hour number, I stop and say, listen, man, family men need to get back to their families. Shems, it's always a pleasure, my good bro. Bit more on the answers next week, yeah?
Bit more on the hosting, yeah?
Bit more on the hosting. Fair enough, man. They say I got 10 years in it, but what do I know? Disu, what are you telling me?
Business is business, man.
Business is booming, my brother.
Business is booming, man.
And shout out wherever he is. Peace.
Peace.
Yo. When I spit bars in a rain, man, I go hard like Santan. When I spit bars in a rain, man, I go hard like Santan.